What's up, everyone? Marvin Four here with Great American Survival, and in today's video we're going to be sharing with you our first demonstration. We took out our Lifetime Teton 100 Angler. We took it out on the water today. It did great. I wanted to give you a first impressions of what we thought about the kayak and what we liked and what we didn't like. So I hope you'll stick with us. I'll tell you all about it. This video is intended for all ages. So let's start off with the design. The design of the boat, it is 10 feet long and weighs 53 pounds as it sits with the seat. The boat itself, very nicely done. Does have a nice little hull design, which is going to make handling moving water, like going upstream on, like here in Georgia, I fish the Chattahoochee. I will enjoy that. I think that's going to be able to handle that very well. It does have a really cool blue and orange paint scheme. I'm not a Florida Gator fan, but I like the look. It's sharp, it pops, it looks cool, and it functions. On the front bow, you've got a nice little cargo area. In my case, today I was carrying my tackle bag up here. Usually I will carry a dry bag because it has no storage internally for dry storage, so this is all you could do. You could probably install one here. I'm not really sure yet, haven't decided, but right now I just had my little poucher bag stuck up front, which is just a dry bag, which most of the time that's what you're going to be having your stuff in. Most of the time you're not going to put anything like that in your dry storage anyways. As you move back, got a nice little bailing area, so this area is going to drain naturally back here towards the scupper plugs. That's always cool. Let's get the paddle out of the way. Now, the paddle I used today was a 240 centimeter paddle and was a little long for this boat. If the seat was up, had a higher setting, probably wouldn't be as big of a deal, and it would have worked fine. As you get here to the foot rest area up here, you have a paddle rest right here, and then you have two 12-inch gear tracks, and you have 3 molded foot rests, a place for a water bottle. You have a mount here for I'm not sure what, and then you've got 2 really nice scupper plugs and a drain plug. I thought that was pretty interesting that they had one here. I think there's another one up here. Honestly, as long as you have one in the rear of the boat, that's all you're going to need. You're not going to try to get water out of the middle. You're going to stand it up on its end and let it drain out that way. That's the way I've always done it. When you get back here, you have grab handles on both sides for carrying. This one here has a built-in paddle holder. Very nice. So in my case, I had my paddle here, my paddle here. You just stretch it over and then hook it on. Doesn't really work very well for that, but that's what it's intended for. The seat, very nice, very comfortable. Like I said, I wish it had, I'm gonna probably put a mount across here to be able to move that up like so, but we'll see. But right now, as it sits, very smooth. The thing rides very level. A lot of these boats, when you're taking them out on the water, they kind of sit low in the water, like where you're worried about the water coming over. Not an issue with this boat. Sits really high in the water column, and when you're paddling along, you seem to kind of float over grass, lily pads, unless of course you have a fish finder or something hanging off the bottom. But this, like it is, very sleek, very nice, easy, lightweight seat. Take it out, sit it on the grass, do whatever you want with it. As you see it back here, this is where the seat mounts in. And the one thing I thought was cool, I did not notice this when I picked up the boat, when I first took the boat out, but I was like, when you take the boat out, when you take the seat out, there are bungees in the back that attach here, so if you flip, it's not gonna come out. Yes, you do have a mount up front here, which latches down and controls it and keeps your seat from coming off. Works really well. Does have 2 more scupper holes. Does not come with any scupper plugs. Now, I don't know if it's supposed to, but mine didn't. Does have 2 45-degree angled rod holders that kind of point outward. Not the best design. I would have rather them faced back so I could run my GoPro mount off of it. Nice big tank well, which is going to make it where I can run my black pack or just a homemade milk crate, whatever you want to use. The rear tank well, very nicely made. Got my dry crate, my dry bag back here. Like I said, that's a pouch or backpack dry bag. Very cool. Got 2 more drain plugs. Everything levels out down into this little area to drain out. Very important. A lot of standing water just gets old, and you know, it's just not the way you want to handle things. I looked at all the seams. I've heard complaints of the seams having cracks in them. I'm sure that's just happens, but mine, nothing wrong with it. I took in no water. Very impressed with the way it's designed. The back area back here, like I said, big enough area back here you could put a dry storage mount. If I put one in, it's just going to be so I can run wiring through it, or you know, things like that. Back here at the rear of the boat, or at the stern as you'll call it, it does have a removable drain plug and another rear grab handle. Very nice, bright accent bungees. Now the one thing I will say, let me show you this. Okay, so when they made this, the mold, the hole was filled up. So they drilled through. They almost drilled through both sides and into the boat and almost punctured the kayak. You see that? That's a negative. I don't like that. That's just careless. So, debated on whether or not to take it back for that reason. Honestly, if it was actually all the way through, I would, but as it sits, no, it's not really an issue for me, but it could be. So. And it has a wonderful 275-pound capacity. I weigh about 190 right now, and I had no issues with water coming in through the scubber holes. And when I did have a couple times where it splashed over the side, it just bailed right out. Now we're going to look at the bottom of the boat. It does have a little bit of warpage across here, but if you see that, but that's nothing. As long as it's, when I'm looking down it, the keel is nice and even and protrudes to make it where it's going to cut through the water very easily. It does. Yeah, I think it's a really well-made boat. Like I said, I paid less than I paid $347 out the door with a 10% discount. Basically, it covers all the tax, but less than $350. This is a nice boat. You can see the little oil canning there. Not really an issue for me. It could have been from me strapping it down a little too much. Entirely possible. We'll see how it handles. Not an issue for me. I think it's going to be fine. It's not a reason for me to take it back for that alone. I will check with them and see what they want me to do. It does have a couple of big scratches in it already, but it is the polyethylene, the HDPE plastic, so you can take like a 5-gallon bucket if you end up with a hole and patch it and fix it. And that's an important thing. When they get into certain plastics, they're basically really hard to repair. That's not this. This is one of the easier plastics to repair. I really like the way they did it. I think they did a good job in design and aspects of this boat. I'm definitely happy. Now, one thing, a little bit of carelessness when it comes to them. You can see one of the scubber plugs there is not all the way out. And one of them there, it's not all the way out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you crush that like button. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're new to our channel, we'd love to have you join us and be part of our community here. And if you're new to kayak fishing and just want to ask some questions, man, feel free. Hit them in the comments down below or reach out to us. We're on Facebook and on Instagram, so you can reach out to us through Messenger or private message. Whatever you guys need. I'd love to answer any questions you guys have. Because so many people, I get asked this a lot, get intimidated to think that you have to have a $1,000 kayak and you have to go out there and put yourself in debt just to be able to get out there and do this. You don't. This right here is a perfect example of being able to do that for $350. You can get on the water and see if this is for you. One of the things a lot of people do is they get into these boats and then it's not comfortable. It might not be for you. Me personally, the seats make it easier because I broke my back in the early 90s. So my back struggles when I'm out on the water, but guys, it's still worth going. I love being able to take my family, my dogs, my kids, and just go out there and just cruise the lake and do some recreational paddling. Find a nice, broad, here in Georgia, we have the Broad River, we have the Chattahoochee, which are both amazing options for paddling. And guys, these are fun. These are a lot of fun. They're a great way to explore nature and a great way to stay physically fit. You don't have to be able to mount a trolling motor or run an outboard or anything like that. Just get your arms, your core, get it all going and just have fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's an experience that you won't forget. You'll get to see things that you won't see walking the bank or walking the trail or just floating in a tube. It's a lot of fun. Blah, 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 blah. And whatever you do, take time this week to explore some nature. Go out there, take a 5 to 10 minute walk. Take your dog with you. Don't take your dog with you. Take your kids with you. Don't take your kids with you. Whatever you guys want to do. But get out there. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy nature. Be prepared and stay safe. God bless, guys. We'll see you soon.